Radiant team banned.
Invested in the success of his team. I don't know if that'll continue on Talon, but I worry that may be a symptom if he is continuing to take a leadership role in this team. I don't know, Winter, if you are inclined to agree.
I feel like he's definitely one of the players that he's very invested and he has a very huge voice in the team. I've worked with him like a couple of months, maybe half a year, almost a year, and I find that in order to get the most out of him, you need to let him do his thing in the game. You need to let him have his ideas in the draft, and you can't just make him, okay, we have this thing, can you just do this for us and blah 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 blah. It just doesn't feel right for him. And in order to utilize him well, you have to let him go, unleash him.
Okay, well, I want to see what can be unleashed. I will serve you up the very first draft of our Southeast Asian Div 1 DPC. Could I get an order, please? Oh yeah, I've got a Tusk on the side of Talon. And yes, while we were starting out the DPC, there has been some other DPC going on. Eastern Europe, I believe, started yesterday, and China's been going on for like 3 days. So would you like some intel on some of the most contested heroes that have been going on in Div 1? I will let you know. Okay, so take a guess on who you think the most contested hero is right now.
Lina.
Okay, well, I guess that was too easy of a question. But, I mean, she wasn't first picked and she wasn't first banned. The Talon went for Tusk. Lina does get picked along with Marcy. So, yes, that is correct. You want to give me second place before you go into the draft? Who's the second most contested hero?
Mirana?
No.
Tango, Tiny?
Tusk is fifth. Tiny's third. It's a support hero.
Treant Protector.
Correct. Yes, Treant Protector is so Lina has a 93% contest rate. Treant Protector has an 89% contest rate. So we'll see how much of that trickles down into Southeast Asia. But yes, it seems like Lina is just universally really good right now.
Yeah, but if you look at how they open the draft, they might have intentionally let the Lina go because Tusk is one of those heroes that are really good against the Lina in the game. Especially if the Tusk is a core, you can always just get to the Lina. Like you have this time frame. Like I would say first 20 minutes, you're going to be able to gank and kill, initiate, find the Lina. But after that, I would say the Lina just kills everybody.
Right.
So that's what Lina does nowadays.
Because she's just like a better sniper, it seems.
Yeah.
She builds right click.
I mean, have you seen a game where I've been in a game where my Ursa can't fight a Lina, you can't go
with enrage on.
Yeah, you just have to run, the Lina just out damages you, out carries you, and yeah, I mean, it's just tough to play against Lina nowadays.
Haven't seen too much Furion, though. That seems like a little bit of a regional or perhaps Talon-specific pick.
Might be a Jabs thing.
Might be a Jabs thing.
Yeah, because Tusk is also a support where it allows, let's say the Tusk is a position 4, it allows the MP on the offlane to excel in the laning phase. You can have kills easily. So I feel they have an idea on to do with this MP and how they want to play a very fast-paced game.
Kind of weird to me because I feel like Talon in general, they always want a last pick Jabs hero.
But their first pick, so when your first pick, the 8th pick is your strongest pick.
I guess so, but this Tusk Furion lane against the Lina plus empty hero just kind of doesn't look convincing to me,
So you think it might be a carry?
Yeah, I think it might be a carry, and they'll last pick Jeff some hero, and this Furion's gonna TP down on this Lina, and that's their like game plan, run at you game plan.
That's a good idea against the Lina as well. You have to ruin her game from the start. You can't just let her get away with fiery soul stacks, farming ancients, farming jungle, and then she comes, what happened? She has a satanic, she has a great, she has DKB, okay, game over.
Is Furion that good at it? Because I feel like you summon Treants and then all of a sudden Lina's like, oh, thank you for all the fiery soul stacks.
That's why I feel like it's more about the idea they have in the game, what they want to do with the Tusk and the Nature's Prophet combination. It could be the two things we said. The MP is a flex pick for them. Can be carry, can be offlane, maybe can be mid, I'm not sure. And it works well with the Tusk. The Tusk is designed to give away you give the Lina pick and you have this hero that can always constantly be a kill threat against the Lina for the first 20 minutes, and MP complements that. Because you can just TP in when the Tusk is ganking.
think also on first pick it could be like a more independent laner in the sense that like even safe lane off lane is kind of a bit more able to be left alone, and it helps you fix your mid with these like roaming supports like Tusk, for example, one of the better roamers in the game. Like you get to deal with your losing mid matchup, which is something Talon might be prioritizing in this series, because I would say usually they usually open with Mikoto's heroes like the Pango, the
Neutral heroes,
Yeah.
You don't really mind showing your hero first, and he doesn't really have that many bad. I mean, they have some bad matchups, but those heroes generally fall into the category of I don't really care if I don't get a good lane. I'm just gonna get my level and I'm gonna roam with my runes and just do my thing.
Oh, something interesting. Palos has played this Marcy before.
Really?
Yeah, he has.
Carry Marcy?
Yeah, I think it's not too bad against Nature's Prophet as well, right? You just sustain the lane.
But don't you feel like when you have Lina in the game, you want Lina to be the carry?
The thing is that Lina can carry from mid, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. Marcy just buffs you. I don't know. They've been doing this like, I mean, they did this in BTS where Palos would play like his fighting hero, and Bob would like play his Lina carry. I mean, it's kind of straight away from that now. Lina is just generally in the safe lane, but if it's better for their lanes, like I don't see why not.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the synergy for sure. Sidekick with the Lina 5 resource stacks that she just kills everybody. Not that she needs the buff, but
Doesn't need any buff.
She needs nerfs.
It needs nerfs.
Now we have the second most contested hero.
more buffs.
More buffs. Put some living armor on her. Definitely useful against the Treants if they do end up running a safe lane Lina against an off lane Nature's Prophet.
You know, the Nature's Prophet shard is a counter to Treant Protector because you're always in the trees.
Okay.
I've seen people actually buy that.
Okay, like legitimately, I've seen Furon so infrequently. Is the shard viable?
I've seen a lot of people buy it, but I cannot brain why they buy it.
Can you even tell like how useful it is when they use it?
I think if you're pushing a lane, you get to throw it like 2,000 range in front of you and scout the trees for someone. That's all.
underrated.
Or you cancel Blink Daggers in teamfight. That's true. That's literally all that I can think of. But I see people buy it and I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm skeptical.
One out of 100 games, I think you buy it, maybe.
Maybe. When they have 5 Blink Daggers.
Yeah, sure.
Just scout the trees.
I don't know. Even on like after 5 Roches, I don't know if I want to give my Nature's Prophet a shard. Wait, they're in the M88 mansion?
No, I don't know.
I mean, I see it on their sign.
Yeah, even more gap closing heroes now. Clockwork against also one of the better supports. I guess it's going to be a support. The Tusk might be a core right now, or maybe both of them are supports. I don't know. But those are the heroes you want against Lina. But the thing is, like, I feel like you can give away Lina. You pick a bunch of quote-unquote counters, but
Sure.
she doesn't really care, you know. Like, if she's getting a good laning phase, she has space to farm around the right setup. She doesn't really care about counters.
It's like Naga, right? Like he just excels from a good lane, like way too fast. Like kind of need to run into his jungle and.
Yeah, but you can
not
see
easy.
their idea right now, since they picked the CM here. So the idea is probably something along the lines there, where you're just going to try to play a very fast game. We gank with the Tusk, the Clockwork, there's an MPTP, and CM's going to supply us with the Aura, so we can keep going, you know, all these mana-dependent strength heroes, and everything can be faster. So you try to outpace the Lina.
I feel like if Execration picked like a mech or pipe hero right now, Talon looks like they have no damage at all. Nature's Prophet, Clockwork, CM.
Yeah.
Like, it's so slow, you know, their damage. We did with the sidekick, Leafy, living armor on top.
Underlord by pipe.
Yeah, why not?
It's not a popular build anymore, but one of the other highly contested heroes this DPC is Broodmother, and old Broodmothers used to build pipe all
It does look like a pretty good
Yeah,
game
the
as
supports
well.
can't do anything to them.
Yeah, very sure. Tino does play the hero. Like there's a big hole in Talon's draft right now. See what Execration choose to do. And
Yeah, because even if they have speed, really the only push they have is profit.
Tiny. I mean, Tiny is nice against the CM, but I don't feel like the Tiny is that great against the other heroes. It's okay. Maybe they just feel like they need a pause 4 that can initiate the fights for them.
did
But
a pause for?
You've got 10 seconds.
maybe not. Maybe it's off lane.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
feel like the cores can be Lina, Marcy, and Tiny, or the supports can be Marcy and Tiny.
Yeah, whatever they
Atrian
want.
and Tiny.
Fire team banned.
Have you seen the Treant core?
No,
What
please.
is
No.
Mac DC,
No.
Team Fight items. It's not that bad.
So what's the build? You get you get a
Just buy Greaves.
locket. Do you get locket?
No, I buy Greaves.
Really?
I don't know, Mac just like Mac became cheaper, right? So everyone's just
Yeah.
buying Mac. Like it kinda works. I saw like some Dazzle yesterday, he just had Greaves eggs. It was some Eastern European game.
Really?
Yeah, it's just so much heal, there's so much heal, and they just group and 20 minutes the game's kinda over.
How does a Dazzle manage to farm that back?
It was a mid
That was a
Dazzle.
mid. That was critical information you did not mention.
It was a very cool mid Dazzle.
Okay.
I mean, for right now, Talon, they kind of need like a, I feel like physical damage hero to round up. TA could be nice against the Lina.
The thing about like we talked about Trian being like one of the highest, right? Like the heroes in DOTA right now, they don't really want to buy Manta anymore. Satanic's like a super late game item, so there's no dispel. I think that's kind of why the Trian got more popular as well.
10 seconds remaining.
And nobody wants to buy Lotus early.
Yeah. I want to buy Lotus.
Just for the dispel, not even if it's a reflection thing.
Listen, I mean, it's because you buy Arcane Boots and you like have plate mail on top, you know. It doesn't feel too
True.
bad.
I think the only person I see buying Lotus is when Ama is playing his Timber. He goes Manta.
Oh yes,
He
I need all
goes
the
Manta
dispels.
instead of the Lotus. True. I want that move speed, you know.
Two pushers kind of banned out by Talon. They take out the Death Prophet and they take out the Dark Seer. Meanwhile, Execration, they take out two carries, Terrorblade and Lifestealer.
Yeah, physical damage heroes that will fit their lineup.
So Talon's definitely looking for a carry here, right?
Remaining.
With their bands. Their bands look like it's for
5
tier
seconds.
or draw, maybe.
Track this close.
Yeah, or draw.
Why are you still wiggling with the possibility of Prophet being a one?
No, not with their bands, I think.
I think they should just pick another offlaner and try to
Like what though?
That's it.
pressure the lead.
Yeah, offlane.
Oh, no, okay, draw. Okay, draw MP. So the game is going to be very very fast paced for them.
Don't they just Broodmother here?
Yeah, what can they do against Broodmother?
Yeah.
They need a Broodmother burger.
Yes, if you haven't been paying attention to our amazing props, we'll show you later, but I hope you're not arachnophobic. Get your own Broodmother burger, or what was it, Zeus Roti Chanai?
Wak Zeus, yeah.
Wat Zeus.
Roti Chanai.
What is the wok?
I have no idea.
Oh, I thought it was like a Malaysian thing. Yeah, it seems like Brood would be pretty terrifying.
They have no wave clear.
No.
Like even some like Naga offlaner or something. Doesn't matter. Like
Crystal
anything.
Nova.
Crystal Nova. Yeah.
No.
Big Kodos CM.
If you are a core CM, then
And you have the Talon minus 3 second cooldown.
that talent feels so good.
That is true.
I mean, I feel like their draft definitely has a really strong timing now. They
So
go.
wait, is this Doom carry against Nature's Prophet? I'm so curious to see what they'll do.
I think Marcy's gonna be the offlane, Doom carry against MP.
Against NP, right?
Yeah.
It's like pretty free, right?
Then you put the Lina mid against whatever the
Pass.
Tough mid.
I think that seems reasonable from their standpoint. Their draft is a lot slower. I would say Execration, they have more this. They want to farm, go to late game, delay the game with the Trian armor. Whereas I like what Talon has on the table. A more fast pace. You try to dictate the game. You play aggressive and you control. Even though they're playing against Alina, odds are not on their on their favor.
Marcy.
But I feel like they have a very good setup to deal with Alina.
Okay, and did that only have to come in with the last few picks, or? I mean, because I've seen so little Furion, I just don't know what to make of the hero. I'm pretty sure Shard's not a viable build, but other than that, like, the Drought Alina carry-to-carry matchup, Adam, which one do you favor?
It's not too bad. Draw definitely kills Lina. I think the thing about their lineup is they have pace. They have like a kill squad and the Furin to like enable the map, like enable their heroes to play the map. So I think if they can get like 2 towers within like the first 15 minutes or so, they'll be in a pretty good spot.
Okay, well, I want to see what spot my casters are in right now, because we got Cap and Avery joining us from a restaurant? Where are you, Cap?
Yes, it's a restaurant. I don't know exactly what kind of restaurant. All I know is there's Dragonite sitting in the corner menacingly. That's about it. I heard you guys talking. I got a little bit more information for you if you want. We've got Palos playing Lina, Bomb is going to be playing the Tiny, and Tino is going to be playing the Doom. So does that change your perspective, the laning setup?
Wait, what's the post 4?
Oh, they're playing Shanks is playing Marcy.
Marcy post 4.
Marcy
There you
post
go.
4.
Yeah.
Does that change anything? Nah, not really.
Nah,
not really.
change anything. It's all the same because it's all about Lina in the end. I'm looking forward to seeing how our first game of Division 1 SCA goes. Cap and Avery, take it away.
You agree with those guys? You think
All about the
Lena's a little broke right now? I mean, it looks really broke.
Nah,
Right?
Zero's gonna be gone in a week.
I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second.
Somebody has to say it. I'll take the contrarian opinion, you know, put it all on the long bet.
Yeah. Okay.
You never know. You never know. I mean, this hero is really strong right now. She just forces the game to revolve around her in terms of she outranges everybody.
Yeah.
It's like the sniper Lina meta. Drow kind of fits in there, but you feel pressure to gap closer. Every fight's about getting on top of the highest DPS hero, which is almost always her at a certain point. So it just the fights start to revolve around her, and if your line was built to protect her, and your enemy's lineup can't deal with that, the game kind of falls into place. So right now, people are having issues answering this, but like the draft mentioned, Talon has some answers here, right? They have multiple long-range BKB Pierce and Tuscan Clock. They have Furion who can naturally gap close. Drow is kind of a reverse Lina.
Reverse Lina?
I don't know what that means, but you know, whatever.
What?
They have the actual reverse Lina Crystal Maid.
Reverse Lina
lore-wise.
be a melee hero?
Yeah, it's like Lina shoots the fire, Drow shoots the ice.
Oh, okay. I see.
One of them
You're
is
talking about
longer range than the
elemental
other.
counter.
You know, maybe they'll.
I feel like fire beats ice usually, so that's a little concerning.
Well, I mean, let's not bring lore into it. You know, this isn't a physics lecture over here. So
I mean, I can't see. It's like Execration. Literally, they were talking about like Broodmother and all those sorts of things, but Execration just kept it simple, and they just went Lina 4 strength heroes. You know, like they've got frontline.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I am incredibly surprised they did not pick Brood there.
Yeah,
because I think Brood gives them the Aura Buyer to help their Lina scale into the late game fights when she gets gap closed. Yeah. Doom is not doing a lot when your Lina gets gap closed here. He's just kind of another damage source and carry. Outside of maybe he can, I mean, if he goes some Aura items, I'll be impressed. That would be insane. But outside of like ice armor, the ice armor is really nice in this game. It is worth mentioning. You stack the ice armor, you stack the tree and armor, throw them on your Lina, throw them on your Tiny. I mean, Tiny already has a lot, but like this Talon lineup is pretty physical dependent, right? You have Tusk, Furion, Drow scaling into your late game. CM Clock are not damage sources, so you start stacking some of this armor on Execration. If they get a Greaves up, you have the higher threshold now, the 25% over 20. Throw some armor, throw some frost armor. Suddenly you're up to like 40, 50 armor in some of these situations. It gets a little scary.
Punch hits, it does 5 damage.
It's like
You're like, all right, great.
A little tusk slap. Like, touch them a little.
Now, one thing we were talking about before, you mentioned an Aura Buyer in the Broodmother.
Yeah.
Aura's pretty important. They were pretty important at TI.
Yes.
With Tundra exclusively making good use of that. Post TI, there were some changes, but it's still about auras, it seems like.
I mean, I think they're just very strong right now with how the pace of the game works and how these heroes scale. It feels like people are very confident going with, 2 good damage sources in the late game and an Aura Buyer to pump them up. It doesn't feel like you're lacking too much. So in those types of games, if the auras are economically viable and you feel good buying them, you're not falling too far behind, or because they're expensive. Like in the past, things like Pipe used to be very expensive, so people were hesitant to buy them because it took too long to come online. But it seems like a lot of these are just cheap now. You see Veil, you see Drums. These are not expensive items, and they help you go late game too. Like these aura scale, so what's the downside?
That's an awkward one right there. We're gonna have yet another pause as Talon and Execration still figuring some things out. What they definitely have figured out is the voice line to spam, and that is apparently one of Execration's voice lines, which I'm a little bit surprised Valve put it into the game. Boss Pa, I don't know what Pa means. Shut up. I feel like that's a little right up there.
See, that's why you put
very aggressive.
That's why we put the wink and doge emoji after it.
Right.
So it's just no flame, just some casual banter.
Anyway, so the smoke broke here, and it's going to continue to break as Shanks just leads the way, trying to grab the Crystal Maiden Ollie. He actually doesn't go for the Q. Now he goes for a toss back, see if they can get the first one. They do, very quickly turning now onto Q for a second blood, perhaps. The snowball over to Shanks is not quite enough, nor is the lumber thrown at Q. He survives through that, knows back, probably hurting after that one. Execration will walk away with a nice little start to this game 1. And kind of, I mean, we also heard a panel talking about it. It's important to get a good start in the DPC, but also this new DPC in general, right? You're facing up against one of the tougher teams. If you could just walk away with clean series win to start your 3-week DPC, you're going to be feeling pretty good.
Absolutely. I mean, first blood definitely helps, gives you a little morale boost.
Yep.
And especially if it's going towards Lina. There's one hero you don't want getting first blood in this game. It's probably this Palos Lina.
Yeah.
Especially he just went full stats build, so he's up to +6 off the bat. And
he got some one charges too.
Gold. Yeah, I mean,
he's got 3 walk charges, first blood. What more could you really ask for?
And they're going to try and lane swap him as well. So that's what more you can ask for. Give him a better lane matchup on top of it, I guess. They just don't want him in this Furion lane. They want the Doom up there, use the Scorched Earth, use the Devour to deal with the Treants, where Lina doesn't want to have to spam out all her mana too early. It's a pretty good start for Execration. That was a very casual, just kind of first blood. Surprised Talon lingered when they saw them just running in like that, because I don't think their level 1 is necessarily stronger. They'll pay the price.
All right, well, we'll see how this matchup ends up going between the Lina Drow Ranger bottom lane, and then obviously we're watching the Makoto Bob Tusk Tiny battle. So we'll see whether or not Execration's lane swap here does actually pay out. Our final lane is that top lane. We got the Doom versus Furion with the 2 melee supports on either side, Clockwork versus Treant Protector.
Now, let me tell you something. He's already got the Saturn Mind Stealer on the camp, so this Doom is going to be happy down the road if he eventually gets there.
Yeah.
Safe lane Doom is pretty strong. He can play around the tower aura. He has Treant to back him up with the heals. Even if Treant dies once or twice in this lane, I don't think Execration care. So this is going to be a strong lane for them. And yeah, level 2 already has the mana burn and mana aura up. Doom is going to be very happy in this lane for the most part.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get pushed out of lane, which I would assume is near impossible with the Treant Protector with you. Because I've seen a lot of these Treant Protectors. It seems like the build right now is 1-2, and then you go 4 levels of living armor afterwards. I mean, why are we seeing so much Treant Protector in the last, well, pretty much post-TI period?
I'll tell you why, Cap. Okay. Because we should have seen him earlier. I thought this hero should have been in the meta for a decent amount of time. I think he was pretty good. I think his laning strong. He's flexible. He has BKB, AoE Pierce. Always amazing in the late game. His armor is super good now, the way they changed it in terms of value points. And now in this patch, they buffed Leech Seed even more. So his laning got even stronger. His teamfight presence got better. Heals are more valuable. I think it's a pretty good meta for this hero right now. As long as you're confident in like the playstyle of him and you understand some of his weaknesses, which are, you know, his inability to move around the map early or join super early ganks, this type of thing. He's a little slower. He provides a lot for you in the mid-late game.
Nice pull out of position there by Shanks. 23, taking a lot of damage. He's going to duck into the trees here. See if he can kill Shanks before going down, but he will not. Ollie, he'll be able to get the kill instead, but 23 going down beforehand. No experience for that. And Palos also walking away with not just free farm, but a second kill on top of that.
Yeah, Palos super happy with that one. Like, he gets XP for the kill, the enemy carry doesn't. It goes to Crystal Maiden. Not necessarily the hero you're too worried about getting a little extra XP early.
Battery Salt. I know this matchup is not the most fun for Treant Protector, but they're Drow joining in, they're going to be able to get this kill. So 23 just saying, I can't play that lane anymore, and understandably so. I mean, once Marcy gets the level 2, got the rebound and the dispose, I don't know how you play against that kind of lane.
No, it's way too hard. This play is very interesting. I think it's the correct play, but Talon, they do have to think about it as well. They have the TP advantage because they have the Furion. So there's also a question of, remember, Execration dodged lanes to start. I think Talon really wanted the matchup to give the Drow the better early game. Yep. Now they're going to try and flip it up. It's a question of does Execration try and match them right away. And
nice. A second toss back by Bob with the rotation from Carlo. Not just to fill up the bottle, but perhaps to get the kill here as Fairy Fire will keep him alive. Carlo unable to get that one swing, so maybe he just fully survives here as the Avalanche just not going to come up in time. Bottle charges keep him healthy.
I guess we need a couple more Leech Seed buffs, you know, a little more early here.
That was the thing for me, is that like Treant Protector, great laner, no doubt, but I feel like he's really only viable if living armor is good, because I feel like outside those, especially his first ability, I'll just be honest, it just feels underwhelming. Nature's Graph, Leech Seed, great for the laning phase.
Well, maybe how you use it, I don't know.
Are you trying to tell me Nature's Grasp is actually a good ability?
I think this ability is good if you know how to like position it, body block people, keep them in it, abuse Orb of Venom, that's when this spell really shines. If you're playing a more defensive treant, or you're going rings, you're going living armor points, the spell isn't going to pay off as much. Your early game is going to be a little bit slower. I think that in this lane, for example, there's not much nature scrap.
He's not faring any better than 23 was for this lane. I mean, both of them are pretty much the same problem. They are ranged cores that just want to sit outside the range and right-click people, but Marcy, she's got that special little ability in rebound.
Might be able to get the Ollie kill too.
Ooh, sidestepped, barely missing the LSA.
I mean, this Lena's having a hell of an early game right now.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't think anybody can even really lane down here. Jab's going to come back again. He's just trying to stay here, get the XP, but this combo is deadly. And again, you're feeding so much extra XP to this Lena who's playing in the off lane to begin with.
I guess the one potential advantage they have is the movement that Nature's Prophet can bring to the table with the teleport, so maybe we'll see him show up in some other lane for a gank when it's back up, but you're only going to have a limited time where you actually have that advantage. With the Lena having this kind of start, you can expect, I would think, a pretty fast boots of travel.
Absolutely. I mean, I would expect Falcon Blade Maelstrom first, but like you said, if that boots of travel on top of it comes out at 13 minutes or something, he's just going to be cruising around the map. The catch is not going to be there that early.
Bob is just merciless with these tossbacks. Not actually going to be able to get a kill or anything off of it, but it is just forcing Mikoto to blow through the snowball over and over again. Go for the rune, and it's on the other side of things. So now Bob, without that refill, maybe in a bit of trouble as Frostbite shows up. Nice rotation from Ollie, very well timed, and helps Mikoto secure the kill.
Just don't have the vision for that rune fight either. Talon's done a pretty decent job of controlling most of the vision for this Marcy rotation and around bottom, and Tiny's just operating blind. Like, he's just guessing the rune, he gets outnumbered. It's a rough go. He was pretty much out of resources anyway, so maybe happy to just take the trade, but this is a double melee mid matchup where runes mean a lot for these heroes in the 6 and 8. It kind of defines how they can take those early fights, especially TPing to some of these side lanes, which is exactly what we're seeing here.
Got spotted. Shanks, he's got the opening to be able to get the rebound away. Interrupted halfway through, but still, Mikoto, slowed down by his own shard, will be able to catch up. Snowball to dodge the LSA, really nicely timed by Mikoto. Shanks does what he can and actually puts Mikoto in a position where he may actually die to Palos, who just throws the right clicks down. Not quite enough, though. We'll clean up some treants for his troubles, though.
That would have been close. I don't know if that level 1 Dragon Slate kills him, but we can see how tanky that hero is early on. Just level 1 treant armor. That's enough, right? The 6 bonus keeps him alive for so long there. Not sure if that punch rebound interaction did him any favors, but
no, definitely not.
You know, you take what you can get. I mean, that's not really what Mikoto wanted out of this, right? Like, he's going to expend an early TP on this Tuskar, have to run back to mid. He really wanted
it feels even worse if the enemy's mid, their rotation works out perfectly. No problem getting the kill on 23.
No, this game is going amazing for Execration right now. Remember, their lineup is arguably slightly slower in the very early game. I always feel like you don't want to be behind in the early game with Nature's Prophet because I think it makes all of his later moves just a little bit harder.
Sure.
And so Execration having this kind of start must feel very good for them.
Yeah, and I think Talon are kind of recognizing the pace of the game is all wrong for them, so now bringing pretty much a 3-man kill force that is going to be moving around. Q, Ollie, and Mikoto.
23 TP's mid as well.
That is...
Doesn't even get the rune. This is just an awkward map setup, I think, for 23 here on this Drow. He just doesn't have a lot of places to go right now. Both these side lanes proving deadly. He's going to say, you know what? Give me the last lane. I'll try mid. Tried the other two. Didn't work out. What can happen to me mid here?
Well, if he gets level 6, he'll be able to go for the 4th lane, which is just jungling from there.
Ah, yes. So the fabled 4th lane of triangle for 30 minutes.
Yeah, every Drow Ranger's dream right there.
Every pub player's dream. The upside is this Tusk is an okay hero to just kind of roam around the map and make stuff happen. And he's probably having the best game in terms of levels and farm. They also have Crystal Maiden Aura to kind of boost up some of the early roaming if they want to play this double support roam, try and make some kills happen. The problem is they're just going to lose so much on these side lanes if they get left empty, which is kind of what's already happening, right? Like, nobody wants to stay bottom. But you have to get something else on the map while this is happening because this Lena is just playing super far ahead.
You're there, Q.
Trying to pull farther.
They know you're somewhere around here. They know you didn't go down because of the scan. Palace is like, he's here somewhere. We've got this great lane ward, which helped them dodge the 3-man gank.
All right, no one's checking in here.
Maybe they thought he just TP'd out. Though technically they should know he didn't have a TP because he TP'd mid off of the Dream Protector illusion diving the tower.
No, I feel like they know he's in there. Just showing some mercy.
You know what that is?
Let him sit there.
That's every core. Every second that they're looking for that support hero to kill, they're going, I could be hitting so many creeps right now.
That's true.
And then eventually they're just like, whatever. It's not worth it. I'm hitting more creeps.
Palace is like, how much is this kill worth? Again, 200? Not worth my time. I'd be killing treants.
Yeah, it could have been killed the whole creep wave by here.
I mean, that said, he's not even top of the board. It's Doom.
Yeah.
And like we were mentioning, this Doom is going Auras, so this early game's getting buffed up by Execration.
Oh, they need this.
Yeah, this
Snowball gets in range. Palace. Oh no, the shard. It was right on the knife's edge there, but Palos just falls on the right side of it, got bumped forward by the shard, and as a result, another failed gank at this bottom lane.
This is going to start to feel bad, because now you have the 10-minute catapult timing, and how do you use it with Furion? That's always a big question with this hero. That move is going to slow it down a lot. They still have the one mid, maybe trying to collapse here. This is a tanky Tiny. Remember, living armor on top.
Yeah, go for a Tiny who not only does he have growth, so he's got the armor to work with now, but he also has the living armor. Like, there's just no way you're going to kill that hero quickly.
I think Execration fights these towers. There's no way they give him up, especially when they have early mech on Doom.
Yeah.
Like, he's pumping up to 25 armor of his own already.
And if they could hold these towers and let the Dream Protector get some more experience, you'll very quickly have a level 4 living armor, and they'll just make things even worse for a Nature's Prophet lineup.
This early game is going to get slowed down for Talon a lot. They might even just have to start to readjust what they're trying to do here with this Furion. Just try and scale into the mid game a bit harder.
Okay, so like that readjustment is just like, let's just focus on farming, like stop rotating so much and just like hit creeps. And
I mean, I just don't know if these towers are going to be a play. Like, I don't see Talon making the collapse on these towers that are working out if Execration can read the move. Your best bet is to try and kill this Lina, who's still playing in this off lane. That failed a couple times though, right? And it starts to add up. They're going to try it again here with another smoke.
Yeah,
they do have the hook shot.
Look at the positioning by Shanks. He's pretty much just shadowing this Lina the entire time and saying, like, if they're going to smoke and rotate and try and kill the Lina, because nobody's showing mid right now, you're going to hit the Marcy first. And you may not even get that kill. We'll see whether or not he can get the rebound off. Nope, not quite. Talon are able to at least get that much, but it was not what they wanted from a 3-man smoke gank that took 40 seconds.
No, they want to be making aggressive moves with the Furion coming in, with Furion ulti on top, getting core kills. Execration probably happy with this. They read the move. Treant's just getting 3 XP top, almost up to level 6, level 3 living armor online. Bob's pushing towards Blink Dagger, has an Invis rune, and Tino, he's already got Greaves coming out. This is a crazy early Greaves timing. For a lineup, again, that pretty much only has to deal with physical and has low damage nukes for most of this mid game. I don't know how you take out 5-on-5 in this Greaves Doom right now. I don't think you can. So then it's a matter of splitting them up on the map, trying to abuse Furion's lane push, Crystal Maiden lane push. But the catch for Execration is gonna come online with this Tiny, so you gotta open up some map here. Not easy. Probably make some other smoke moves, other 5-man collapse on this safe lane, kick this Treant out, try and trade the towers. But again, if you're Execration, I would take that fight. Anytime Talon comes to your towers, I'm willing to take that.
Yeah, and we'll see what they do with this response as Heroes definitely showing in the top lane. Palace is not going to go for that third item, Boots of Travel, and he feels like the Force Staff is more important, which makes sense against both a Tusk and a Clockwork. Very value item this game.
All right, they're just going to trade the towers.
Okay.
They don't feel like they can set up this a fine decision, and Execration now the ones pushing mid here. Maelstrom online for Lina. There's a lot of damage and a lot of tankability coming out. They're just forcing the issue.
Yeah, why not? Force them to fight into this Greaves that, you know, you pointed out is such a big problem for this game. The smoke is there, and they see Tino. Shot is going to lead off. Well, it's going to see Shanks. He actually immediately goes for the Crystal Maiden, tosses him into position, quickly dies to Palos, who's just standing there with the living armor and delivering fiery justice to anybody who wants to be able to fight back. Nice toss over. That's going to ensure a big kill onto Makoto with the help of the Doom locking it down and almost catching the Fury on as well. Either way, 3 heroes go down and a mid tower to fall. Execration continuing their very dominant laning phase into now just devastating all of the early tier 1 towers.
I mean, that's just a hard fight, right? Like, the second you're not getting on top of this Lina, she has a free reign.
Yep.
That is an impossible engagement. We saw how tanky this Tino Doom is already. He has the living armor on top. He's already up to 40 armor in that type of engagement, 70% reduction. I mean, good luck, my friend. It's just not happening. And now you have this Blink Dagger online. 23.
All right, time to go all in. 23 is definitely going to be dying here. At least I assume he's going to be dying. Okay, they get there in time, stop the TP. On the other side of the map, they tried to all in on Tino. Couldn't do anything. So
I don't know what you do. He's even got toughness aura on top of it, so you can't even find the frost armor this game.
Come in handy.
It's just, this is getting a little out of control. Because like we said, this Talon lineup does not function the best when their towers are getting pushed down and they're losing the map space. The Furion wants the map space to open up so his pickoff can go to work. Now it's just, you're gonna have to operate with limited vision, limited control, and limited space. Your ancients are getting stolen by the enemy Lina, who didn't even go bots, just went 4-staff, so he's even harder to gap close now. Your clock is just not effective.
Nor is the Tusk, right?
And while all of this is happening, Carlo's just sitting top.
Yeah,
just playing Tree Protector PvE DOTA, just mopping up creeps, getting super high level. He's just armoring people, and anytime there's a fight, he'll TP in, cast an Overgrowth, like we saw in that mid engagement.
Yeah, and he'll soon actually be even more effective for that kind of play, because he's going to have a Blink Dagger in about a minute.
Yeah,
so
he's basically the 4. This is just good execution of the map by Execration. 5k gold lead. They're going to continue to get farmed on their supports. Very nice early game execution from them. And Pipe coming out for this Doom. Even more tanky auras.
And there's just no time I can see where Talon is going to feel strong again, really. Because, I mean, so much you were talking about the armor comes down to the Drow Ranger. She's battling up against bonus armor against all of these heroes. She's good at dealing with base armor. Heroes that just naturally from agility have a crap ton of base armor. But you've got Greaves, you've got Tiny Grow is actually, you know, bonus armor
one of the better answers. That's the thing. All this tank ability is not tank ability the Drow's going to scale into necessarily.
Yeah.
It has to come from some sort of hybrid damage here or huge damage over time, right? We're seeing like jabs. He went Witchblade. This is a common Furion build, but he was debating auras early on. So he again recognizes the state of this game and just trying to scale into some hybrid damage. But Execration not giving you the time.
Nice toss back there. Shanks with the dispose pulls Q into a position, and then Bob follows that up by getting on top of Ollie and tosses him onto where Q got disposed to. 2 repositioning abilities in conjunction, making for a very neat little fight for Palos.
I think this idea of repositioning is also something that teams should have picked up on from TI. Because when you have these auras, when you're the stronger ball, the reposition of being able to throw an enemy into your ball, it just becomes that much better. Because now you force a type of fight where if you toss someone in, Talon has to choose, do we run into this Doom armor ball and take that fight because our dude got tossed in, right? Yeah. It just becomes an impossible scenario, but I like this move.
Yeah, this is probably the first little W that we're going to see out of Talon. As they're going to be able to take the Roshan without the interference of Execration. I think they'll be able to get out pretty cleanly too. We'll see. Bob blinking forward, not able to stop any of the TPs in time, so everybody gets out. Very clean for Talon.
Yeah, that was perfectly executed. If you can't fight the enemy, go find something else you can fight. Roshan's a bit easier, so that'll give them a decent amount of time here. Now they can start to split the map up, trying to abuse the Furion.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. Maybe it's the Furion who's going to be abused.
Okay.
100 to 0 pretty quickly. And he's going to go an AC next item.
My God.
These guys, they understand pretty clearly. Talon, you've just got physical damage for the most part. You've got a Drow Ranger. We're just going to armor up non-stop.
I feel for the Drow in this game. This is some armor supremacy as Ollie is deleted here. think you're hunting the treant, but instead you're getting hunted back.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
this 5-man armor ball is becoming unstoppable. It's even an early high ground push by Execration if they really feel like they can force issues here. Which then it's a question of like, what does Talon's base defense really look like in this game, right? You have Drow, but if she's not doing much damage, this game it's getting a little spooky here, Cap.
What do you think Makoto does? Because this Tusk, we talked ad nauseum about how the Drow Ranger is going to be ineffective. The same applies for Tusk, who wants to be able to single target burst down a hero with the Desolator build. I don't think he's actually, even if he gets this Deso, I don't think he's actually going to do enough damage. I almost feel like he needs to go the Axe. And just like
That's what I was thinking. Like, did you say screw the punch scenario? I'm just going to kick you back?
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the repositioning, how powerful that tool is. Tusk is perhaps the only hero that can rival Tiny in that regard.
I mean, I think Ags is one of their best areas to try and win this game going late, because as good as repositioning is for the ball, it's also good against the ball. You take someone out of it, you remove a hero, then you isolate him. It forces them to try and collapse into you. So I do like Tusk Ags in this game, but I mean, Blink Deso is kind of necessity on this hero. You feel really bad without it. You know, you're just not doing anything.
Looks like Talon are going to be taking some sort of fight here with the Aegis.
Tiny.
Starting off, trying to blow up the Doom. That damage was not very fast. He managed to get the 2-man toss combo. Shanks, he's in deep. They actually got a pretty decent freezing field, but Hulk immediately overgrowth, all controlled. Drow Ranger still trying to fight through. Shanks does manage to get that kill. Bob coming back in. Another 5 seconds for another combo by him. He wants to be able to chase down some of these heroes. His jabs, he's certainly caught. Bob's going to look for a little bit more. Oh, nice force snap down the cliff from 23. Does manage to get away. So actually, Talon, I feel like that fight, especially the way it started with them doing absolutely nothing to Tino and getting 2-man comboed, that fight should have gone a lot worse.
They're happy to get out with everybody there. I'm just watching them right-click this Doom, and there is nothing happening to this guy. He's just sitting there like, what's up, bros? You know,
Like, okay.
75% resist, have a nice day. I think Jab started right-clicking him, and then he just gave up. Started right-clicking some creeps. May as well get some farm out of this, because I'm going down anyway. It's just tough. This is just a tough part of the game for Talon. They have to push through this, try and get to the 40-minute mark or something where the damage comes online. And another beautiful overgrowth by Carlo. He has the blink from the early farm he got, so just able to get them all here. But
Money to burn.
yeah, I mean, look at Jab's hitting. Like, oh, this is not even damage. Might be healing him.
It wasn't even Palos showing up for most of the fight, to be honest, so only towards the end. Nature's Prophet ends up going down. So the Aegis is now gone. So Talon, I mean, they already showed they're not going to be able to fight much. I am curious, though. I feel like we both see this game as very doom and gloom for Talon. And I've been kind of surprised at the win percentage. Well, it dipped down a little bit more, but right now it's 25 to 75. So give me, what is the 25 that's being represented here? Maybe it's this. Maybe it's them actually getting on top of Lena for once. The living armor is making it very, very slow to be able to kill him. And now the overgrowth is going to make things even worse as Bob shows up with the toss back. Avalanche over the top. Jabs continues to futilely right-click Paolo, doing no damage whatsoever. His damage was actually getting outdone by the lifesteal living armor combination there. Oh, dear.
I mean, that was the AC up as well, right? He was literally up to 80% resist. These engagements, there's just no magic. I don't know what you need in this type of game, to be honest.
Yeah.
The only thing that comes to mind is Revenant's Broach. Like,
hey, there's an answer, sure.
I don't know. Maybe you just rush Broach on this Furion, because Jabs just TP's in, he BKBs early too. There's just zero damage. Yeah, none of these plays are going to work. There's just no capability here.
Like, Jabs went for the second item BKB for him to be able to do exactly that scenario. Go stand there and deliver damage out to a hero, just commit and finish it off. But yeah,
it's not
he doesn't do nearly enough.
And I think this is the power of what we were talking about from the draft on too. If you pick an all-planer here that gives you auras, gives you some armor, this Talon draft's going to have a hard time fighting because the damage is limited in the mid game. Then you might fall behind, which is what happened. So I really like that he went for
nice hook shot.
That's a good way
there onto the Doom as well with the 2-man silence. The snowball's going to stick on top of Lena. If they can finish him off here, it would be massive, but a little dispose, a little bit of movement, a bumper, turn around, 2-man stun. down. The Nature's Prophet TPing in to finish off Palos. Pops a BKB. Palos knows he's dead. He's going to turn around and do what damage he can. The rest of Execration now without their Lina are lost. Talon with the comeback there, all off of a beautiful initiation from Q.
God damn, I mean, I thought the high ground was pretty doable for Execration, but that double core cogback was just absolutely disgusting.
Also, how did they get in that position?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, how is the Lina getting cogged in the base? I guess we're gonna find out. I mean, he does get forced out, but the damage is done, right?
Yeah.
You have to kind of reset. There's just so many hypothermia stacks getting put on too. This Drow will kill you over time if you're in this type of position, and I mean, Doomer for what? Now Jabs gets to clean up a low damage Lina. Ideal scenario for them.
Well, this game has certainly changed.
I guess that was the 25%.
Yeah.
That's some signs of life here for Talon. A lot of gold going their way. Remember, these kills mean a lot for them. Failed high ground. Gonna give them some time to farm up the damage items.
Seems like Execration maybe overconfident. I mean, we were pretty confident in their chances of victory in this game too.
I mean,
Maybe
still
that's
think
why Palos walked up the high ground.
I still think that high ground is a viable high ground.
Oh yes,
I think that was like a very misexecuted high ground push there. I think Lina should be able to siege this. You force Talon to have to jump you outside of their base, and then you can take the fight that way with the auras. But
yeah, again, one of the biggest advantages of the Lina, right, is that attack range.
Yes.
And when you run up the high ground, you're not using that entire advantage.
Yeah, you sacrifice a little. But hey, Talon were ready. That's the thing about high ground. If you're there and you're ready, a lot of times you might get that jump that the enemy's just not expecting you to all be sat there. So props to them to be ready for that go and to execute it fast. That's what gets them that fight and maybe some life back in this game. Now Jab's going for the Gleipnir here. It's another source of some hybrid magic damage to help cut through the armor. So I like that as well. Also, the root is going to be a pretty effective here going late game. You don't have a huge amount of BKBs online for Execration right now. Palos stalled his up, so he's going to be going for one next, and this Tiny has one, but Doom isn't going to be getting one anytime soon in the other two supports, so the root is not bad here if you're trying to play some long stalled out fights. But I'm telling you, that brooch,
it might be. It's an interesting idea, that's for sure.
I mean, people
Jabs, oh no, that's awkward. He does have the BKB, so he should just be able to instantly
ask TP.
Their smoke did actually end up finding Ollie, surprisingly enough. I thought everybody from Talon was actually out of this top area. I thought they read the smoke, but I mean, it's just a Crystal Maiden, not that big of a deal. Execration, they're waiting for Roshan. This is a very important Roshan as well with the shard, so they do not want to give, if they want to re-cement their hold on this game, leads through Roshan.
Get the Aegis on Lina, and then, that's another mechanism to go high ground. You get another chance, but this is the kind of gameplay Talon wants right now. They want to stall up the map, have the Furion shove some lanes, have Execration maybe mess up some TPs like they did, and then look for a pickoff. Execration does have a very good ward here, though. Talon's just sitting on it.
They're going to start backing away to their own high ground here, but Bomb strikes first. They do not have a ward on the high ground to fight this, so they are just back to split push mode. So that still holds Execration's supremacy of the map, and once they see that Roshan is up, they should be able to do it. And I'm not sure if Talon is really going to be able to contest. We'll see. Maybe they feel like it's a must.
No way you're contesting this without the clock. Use all your vision and your initiation here.
That's true.
Especially Lina BKB online. We'll probably give him the Aegis here. Shard going to Doom.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice shard, I would say.
I don't think he really wants it though. I think they're debating this one. I think it's Marcy or Lina here. I know some Marcy's like this, some really don't. It's like it's a feel thing, so. But he will take it here on Shanks, so it is another like soft save. When your Lina gets cogged into the base.
Yeah, when he walks up high ground, now you can force him down the low ground.
Exactly.
Easy peasy.
Even Elven Tunic on this Lina as well. extra evasion here.
That's pretty nice. You know, one note, we were talking about how auras were very important at TI. Obviously, Wraith Pact was the big hot topic there, but there were some other auras being bought. Specifically, Wraith Pact Pipe was very common, but then they changed Wraith Pact. Now, no longer reduces magical or pure damage, but it still has the same effect on physical damage, which means Talon's lineup is still susceptible to Wraith Pact like it's TI.
Yeah, that's kind of the funny part here. This is a pretty good Wraith Pact game, right? Like, if you're ever reducing the damage of any of Talon's cores, you're pretty happy with that. And at the same time, you get some Vlad's aura. It's pretty nice for the Lina. These super long-range carries really like lifesteal. Helps them stay in the fight and sustain, especially if they get gap close. You just stand your ground and fight it, right? A lot of Lina builds build the Satanic naturally for the same reasons. So a little extra never hurt anybody here. And what aura is even left for Doom to buy at this point? I don't know. Get a Veil.
Shiva's?
Drum.
Yeah.
Double boots it up.
Jabs. He is... Oh, that was actually a really good read. They know. And... Oh, they don't have the detection. They don't have the vision, rather. Shanks, he tried to give it to them with the rebound up there. They could have just gotten the Doom off then.
Jabs. You're lucky to get out of that one.
Yeah, seriously.
He's under attack.
Again, though, stalling the game, like, this gold lead's not growing, so Talon technically getting what they want out here, which is just to force the game to go later. They get the TPs out, and now they get the smoke. 2 wards up on this Crystal Maiden as well. They find the lone hero on the map. They can kill that hero pretty fast.
I like how Talon... Well, first of all, Palos played the triangle with this Aegis and just said, okay, they had to rotate outside of bottom lane. If they come top or to the triangle, like, I'm ready to go. And Talon actually made that read, and they smoked up, and they just went to the same area. They're just like, okay, we cannot play the left-hand side of the map at all because they're just going to hold that triangle area, and we're just going to try and see if we can get whatever picks we can. Execration, though, are going to just force it here with 2 minutes left on the Aegis.
I think they should force it. Like, this is your Lina high ground. She's stacked as hell. You should feel very confident going high ground. You just understand how to take the fight and bail her out. But remember, Talon has to jump her, so put the onus on them. I mean, Talon were trying to get that smoke gank to try and bait the Furion on the other side of the map, but I don't think Execration want to take the fight. I'm just going to be happy forcing the issue. Here's the jump.
All right. Punch lead off, the snowball follow-up, but nice use of the shard there to get the Lina back into the low ground. Now, Bob did jump in, but the Drow Ranger's damage not really doing nearly enough. But the BKB popped, Palos committing for a decent amount of time to turn in with Bob to be able to finish off the clockwork now. 23, just playing it back and forth.
Oh,
nice shot, the Manta, good gust as well. And now with the Doom overstepping himself to try to follow up that initiation, gets caught. But an overtoss actually saves the day with the taunts back as well. 23 damage with the Hurricane Pike, back to the side, but Palos is more than enough damage to put him in the dirt. Bob able to get away as well. Q tried to clean up what his backline he could, but everybody is low, but nobody's actually dead from Execration. All they've lost so far is the Aegis. And without the Drow Ranger, frankly, they don't have the damn bit of damage left in the tank to finish off any of these low heroes.
Honestly, that fight, it could have been, it was so close to going so well for Talon. Like, that multi-shot hitting everybody, stacking up the stacks. If Drow has buy, maybe you can take that fight, but pretty much the only one without it. And Talon is going to have a clock dieback, the Furion buyback, and now not enough gas left in the tank to take down this Palos Lina, who's just going to clear your base from Megas here. Yeah, nobody is able to do anything to him this game, feels like.
Very impressive.
First blood. First blood. That's why you shouldn't get first blood. That's, you go and look at this replay, that's what did it.
Yeah, you think Talon are going to do that in the break between game 1 and game 2?
I mean, I think this is...
Go through the replay, see the first blood. That was it, guys.
I mean, this is a game where you probably don't have to go too much in the replay. It's a matter of, you know, early game did not go well enough. They get the auras online before our damage comes online. You can't really swing the tempo, and it's just hard to come back.
So you still think that this draft, which I would say is pretty, it's not the greatest damage and a lot of it's physical. You think you can still execute this? It just came down to, like, you just need the laning phase to go better. Good. You need to be ahead of the timings, as you said, of those aura items?
I think it definitely helps a lot.
Okay.
Like, the farther you are ahead, or even if it just didn't go as bad as it did, because remember, this Lina had an insane start. She had first blood, pure stats, didn't have to buy a lot of regen, and then got like 2 good core kills on lane between the Drought and the Furion. And those core kills are forcing the Furion's TPs early, so he's losing a little of XP, he's losing a little time, he's losing a little resources. By the time you go for this mid 10-minute catapult tower push, Doom already is the most farmed hero in the game with mech online. It just can't happen, right?
Yeah.
And if 1 or 2 of those moves go your way, this game can look very different for Talon. But you have to be able to set yourself up for those moves to be successful, and the margins on that are very thin, right? I think the onus is on Talon to execute those early lanes for that to happen. It just didn't happen this game. And then this game becomes hard, you know? That's how some of these drafts function, so I do think a lot of that was lanes. Remember, the lane matchups also got swapped, so Execration had a very good read of how to slow that down as well.
Execration
Good stuff.
going for the finishing blow here, but stopped by Jabs. Of course, he used the BKB. And Execration can certainly take their time and just have the Lina whittle down the tier 4s.
Carlo went buckler medallion just to throw some extra insult to injury, you know, like I'm gonna go medallion. No one's going medallion.
Yeah,
just to armor my lean up even more.
It's actually insane. If he completes the full out Solar Crest rather, putting it on that Lina.
I mean, it's good. It's a good Solar Crest game, right? They have like the solo right click carry in the Lina. Tiny doesn't need it because he can just throw dags, trees. Good itemization here. I think Execration really understood what they wanted to do this game, all on the same page. Looks very smooth.
And in the end, Mikoto is going to agree with us here that Aghanims may be their only hope. And it's certainly your best hope when the enemy team is pushing tier 4s. You can get them close to
Doom got punched.
Hit by the multi-shot, 500 damage. Coming back from Bob, actually gets Ollie instead of the Drow Ranger to the BKB pop. Immediately a Manta off of the Overgrow, trying to put some damage onto anybody here. Multi-shot hitting all of these heroes, but they're taking absolutely nothing. GG is called. Execration, an extremely clean. I have to say, like, I feel like this game, how many mistakes did they really make? There was that one mistake going high ground.
Yeah,
But other than that, like,
mistake.
I feel like it was a very clean game. Drafts into execution of the lanes, the swap through, everything was good.
They had a very good read of that game, like from the start. I'm impressed. It was very clinical. It was very strategic, all together, all on the same page. Like you said, from the lane setup to the itemization to the team fights, understand what they wanted to do, the timings. I think that high ground push was correct. I think they just mis-executed it. But otherwise, what really went wrong? And yeah, great start from them. I mean, this is a really nice way to execute Treant. Like, this is why a good way to use a hero, how to abuse it with a long range carry, have another hero building ores in conjunction with a Treant. You just hit this.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant forts have been fortified. Radiant's middle tower is taking a drubbing. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Evil but warm.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Of haste.
But the Dire's top tower is under attack.
Shaved in searing heat.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Coin of the realm.
Radiant's middle tower ain't radiating no more. I'll vouch for that, you know what I mean?
Never refuse gold given.
Radiant's courier has been slain. Poor little courier.
My keyboard is not working.
The Dire's top tower is under attack.
Almighty one.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's to blame. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures, they're fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is taking a beating. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is taking a beating. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I saw it so briefly. Killing spree! Ownage!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Killing spree! Ownage!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
still in the pool. Not sure if we'll see it.
Yeah.
Kinda.
You're talking about the post 4 Arc Warden, right? I think I've seen it.
I've only seen them play on one. But I don't know if they have
I met a exact same lane, Arc Warden plus Visage.
What have you seen? What is this winter?
I've seen it in my pubs too. This guy, he just jungles, he fights.
Oh,
but it's just
one
so much.
guy.
No, it's so much damage in the lane. You know, like the flux and the soul assumption, and then you have all those ghosts. It's just very annoying to play.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So I played this game where we actually had like heroes that hit towers, and then this guy plays support Arc Warden, and he bought Arcane Soul Ring.
And he just
And at like 10
max
minutes, he
shield
just
towers.
comes to the fight and he
Vandal.
just throws stuff
better
on the
than-
floor. Yeah, it's
Vandal.
so much better. And it's so hard to fight. It's so obnoxious to play against.
Well, more traditional one positions get banned out by Execration. They take out the Sniper, the Monkey King, and the Morphling. Meanwhile, Talon ban out a Tiny. I'm a little bit surprised that Brute Mother's not proving to be more contested. I would have thought that Southeast Asia would have loved the opportunity to be like, oh, Brute Mother's relevant again.
I thought last game was like the best
Yeah.
Brood
I
Mother
mean,
game.
the hero did take a pretty good, big nerf. You know.
Dire team.
Like he was still good. It's still good in the right situation. Maybe not so much of I'm just gonna open my draft with wood. I don't give a damn about what the enemy is doing. You know. But now it's like more like situational. I mean, you give a damn a little, but it's still good. You know. If it's a good brute game, it's a good brute game.
Sure.
Radiant team pick.
Creation, they need a
Dawnbreaker.
Radiant team
That
pick.
like
why?
Oh,
Ricky.
no.
I need to be on camera with the dart. Dude, we have straws here too, you know. Spitball.
So what kind of carry you want against this kind of Ricky dart into arrow? You want to be like a more durable carry.
I think you want lineups that play together because
Yeah, you have to be together.
Yeah.
You have to be together. You want to be a ball, but they have like they have Enchantress.
I mean, they have Ange and Dawn here. It's probably nice, right?
Radiant team.
So what carry is good against Ricky? PL?
I think PL's bad against Ricky, by the way.
Yeah, but the smoke screen
Your
is so-
illusions, when they go into smoke screen, they are garbage.
Why can't I hit him?
Actually garbage.
I mean, I feel like it's not even just that. PL is like a kind of like a weak hero in the meta right now.
It's good against Vision. It's bad though, to be fair. It's
Okay,
bad.
fine. I agree to that. Those two heroes don't really do much to PL, but I feel like the hero you have to farm so much, you know, and I favor more like carries that you have one or two cheap items, you come online, you fight. I mean, sure you can buy, but if you go Diffusal, I mean, maybe you can come join 1-2 fights, but then you have to go back to finish your next couple of items. And yeah, sure you can get a Mage Slayer somewhere down the road. I feel the hero is like slow.
I feel like Talon's back on their success formula.
So the first game is a fast game. So this game is going back to the late
Pick
game.
Mikoto early, you know, pick Savage, the winning matchup. Last pick Jabs
Wait,
too.
have they fixed
And
the
now ban
Dawnbreaker
all
thing?
the PL
I don't think
counters.
they have. They did?
The PL counter.
Yeah, Pudge is a Pudge is a then there's
Because it wasn't fixed
Match, right?
like
Doom? Do you
a
care
week
about Lash?
ago.
Yeah, they
I'm not
released
sure.
like
I feel like with Mage Slayer in the game,
a hotfix patch for a bunch of the
it's kind
fixes.
of
Okay.
weird.
I mean,
It's a
actually,
weird
they need a carry.
Like
They
the
actually need a
Pango
carry.
one and shit.
carry. No Battlefield
Oh, yeah,
Ricky.
that one was.
Magnus
Yeah,
and
supposed
Power
to be
with the...
fixed now.
That used to be like so dumb. Pretty good Ricky carry game. Is it not against Ange, Ember, and Pure? I think it's pretty good.
No, the dart is too good.
Not too good.
You can buy it as a carry.
Why would I buy the shot as a carry?
I mean-
I want to buy it as a support.
True.
I mean,
Well,
okay,
second
okay.
roach.
Say you're a carry. When are you gonna get the dart?
Second roach.
It's gonna be like 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes
Yes, that's-
before you get the dart.
I mean, but it's useful all game long.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
If they do, I mean, so I guess the options are if maybe they want an offlane on Execration, because, well, actually Pudge would have been a carry, so I think they are expecting this to be a support Ricky.
I mean, I feel like overall, I like Lash for their lineup against the PL, and they have this kind of push with the.
But then you have what, Lash Mirana in?
Yeah, I mean,
also-
maybe you can change. Can you change the lane?
Not really.
Ricky and Ricky Lash.
Dire team.
No, what else is in the pool? Sven, Faceless Void.
Oh yeah, Sven is okay with their lineup. Would you get the shot on the carry Sven? New, get the aura for your team.
I don't even like it. I don't even like support Sven.
I'll just tell my team, Ange can purge it, guys. Don't waste my goal.
Yeah, that's true.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay, yeah. Don't worry. I'll always
ban.
take it off.
Just
5 seconds
annoying
remaining.
lanes, I guess. The Execration hero here. I only kind of see Faceless Void for them.
What are you taking off?
How about Razor?
Don't worry.
Against PL? Ember? can't link anything.
I mean, with the Bloodstone build, do you care about the link?
I mean, they have a
You can clear the illusions with the Bloodstone.
How about safe lane timber?
that Terrorblade just became Doom, guys. It wasn't me. I like the Doom, man. It's really good against their heroes. Great against PL too. I like this Doom. I'm surprised we haven't seen any Magnus. I feel like the hero is off lane. The strong, yeah. I feel like repositioning is strong now. Tiny Magnus. I mean, I guess it's always been strong, but
I think he's good in this meta with like the buffing. I feel like all the heroes.
yeah,
can
just
buff
buy Greaves, Pyro, like,
and you empower the core.
So, tanky card.
Your job is done.
How about any Radiance buyers? Is Alchemist viable these days?
Brave
I've
King?
seen Alchemist, but I have not seen it with.
Alright, Slap.
Wow. That's a very squishy team, that Execration.
That's a Radiance buyer.
That's a Radiance buyer for sure. That's a carry shard buyer. You buy shard on carry Slark Winter?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
So some
what?
carries you.
Alright, guys, this is my favorite part of the draft. Guess the Jabs hero.
Guess the jabs
And
here.
why is it Bloodseeker?
Bloodseeker.
Well, I would say why,
What else
because the
is there?
Slark got
Lash?
picked.
He's gonna play like some
Lash,
range hero,
Lash.
like DP, like some semi-core hero, DP, Lash.
Lash? I guess Lash.
I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if he plays the Razor.
What,
They're just so mad against their heroes though.
Yeah, but his hero doesn't have to be good at it. Okay, so is he playing the DB?
Gas win.
No, what is he playing?
What? Oh, of course. With some Jabs Ember. Let's go.
Oh yeah, okay, fine.
Just he's playing Pango, right?
Yeah, he's playing Pango. The DB is the support with the Ench.
I have Pango, another answer to the Visage for them. Some AoE control for the Slark. So overall, quite a decent pick. No,
But I
roll
feel
counter.
the lane would be hard for him. You know, they are double. I presume double melee. Like the
Dawn is so strong though.
he's laning against what, Mirana plus Blood.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The lane is fine for them. He can maybe get a good start, then snowball, run around, kill people.
But so previously, it seemed like Talon struggled with getting a good start. This time, do you think their lanes are a little bit more?
I mean, I thought the last time they would have been able to.
I think they're gonna win all 3 lanes.
You think they're going to win
Yeah.
all 3 lanes?
Yeah.
Okay. Even
Bet you a Brood Mother burger.
okay. I bet you a Roti Kanai as well. Bad Rider matchups are. You're that confident all 3
Yeah.
lanes. Okay.
all
fine.
3 lanes.
I am curious if our casters are also equally confident that Talon are going to be able to, look at their previous mistakes, reevaluate, and come into this game a little bit cleaner.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go, Tsunami.
Okay.
Yes, the
I'm
answer is yes.
confident.
Wait, I have a really quick question for the panelists. It's off topic. Okay, can you go Falcon Blade on Dawnbreaker? Yes or no? We'll start with you, Winter. Yes or no?
On the support,
It doesn't matter. Just in general.
I would not do it.
Okay.
I'll just go soaring to that soul if I'm greedy.
Okay, Adam.
Yes.
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 Oh, there's a split there too. All right, so Cinderin saved. We're going through some Dawnbreaker items right now.
All right. Well, you can explain that a little bit fuller when you get into the game. Cap and Avery, take it away.
Thank you. We were looking at the trend in Dawnbreaker items, and we were going through what pros were building Falcon Blade on Dawnbreaker and what pros were building
Yes.
Soul Ring. Because obviously nobody likes building Soul Ring, but sometimes. Okay.
But I guess I'm a masochist, so what does that count for? I mean, it's the
it's
age-old
just
debate, Caps. It's the dawn of time. Do you build Soul Ring or do you build Falcon Blade for Mana Region? I think we've all been there. And yeah, like we said, we were going through the player history. I think there were a lot of pros building Soul Ring still, and Cinderin was building Falcon Blade, so I feel like that tells you all you really need to know about what the correct itemization here is. But of course, this is support Dawnbreaker, so
Yeah. That conversation has no application to this whatsoever. We were just honestly, I couldn't think of another conversation for our handshake piece, so that's what I went with.
it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
All right. Execration. I mean, how do you feel? You talked about the panel's expectations for this matchup, especially the laning phase. Did you agree with what they were saying?
Adam was very confident they were going to destroy 3 lanes. That was what he said.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, but we'll find out, I guess. I think it's very hard to beat Bat mid a lot of times. Like, you're just not gonna beat him. You go even or whatever, you get levels, maybe some weird skirmish happens and you kill him, but I think Bob should have a pretty free time here. And then side lanes, neither of these side lanes looks incredibly strong for Talon. I could see Pango doing pretty well, and of course they do have Ench and Dawn who can snowball lanes with kills. Just a question of what happens over time. To me, the big lane they might be able to exploit is this Visage. Like, if this Ench can have a really good early game, abuse the support, which is going to be a Ricky. He's a little hard to abuse, but you might be able to do it. If you kill this Visage once or twice, deny him some XP, maybe you can pull ahead in this lane. But PL's just not really the super aggressive carry to help you do that. He's not like some Phantom Assassin or something like this, or Troll. Sure. Where you're just going to destroy the early levels. So I think Talon should be comfortable in these lanes, but I don't know if they're going to crush them or anything.
Oh, they're really going to force out these lead charges from Carlo. Jeez.
That's not what he wanted.
Yeah, that's not the kind of start that I saw Snaking having on that 5 Mirana. Ollie already leveling up the heal, trying to do some trading here. Perhaps one of the few heroes that can trade okay with this new Riki support thing that's been going around. That hero has been a menace when it comes to both pubs and pro games.
It's just that sleeper dart, man.
Yeah.
Too good.
I mean, also the stats, right? This hero actually trades really well in the laning phase.
He has high regen, high armor. He's an amazing early model. He has double mobility spell. Does a lot of damage. You get caught off by how much damage this guy does just with Orb of Venom and some Blink Strikes.
Yeah.
So you do not want to give him early kills to give him the extra XP. You want to level starve Ricky. Like, these melee roamers, their biggest enemy over time has been level starve, as Talos is just getting beat down here.
Yeah, Dawnbreaker's one hell of a hero. She does some damage. That being said, she has burned through most of her mana. She's got 2 more mangoes to work with, so we'll see if Q is actually able to turn all of that harassment into an actual kill. The First Blood obviously still out in the open there, since we didn't have an early clash like last time.
Yeah, no First Blood for Palace this game, so we'll have to earn it. And it will be level 2 on this bottom lane. Maybe try and punish here. They have Equilibrium as well. This is a lane Palace has to be careful in. He misses a leap or gets caught. It's just going to be the First Blood.
No.
That means Jabs, Pango's having a really nice start when it comes to CS, and I always feel like that's really important for Pango. Pressured very easily, I would say, in the first like 2 levels or so, but once you start getting level 3, level 5, things feel a lot more stable.
Yeah, he's having a great time. And that's very good for Talon, because I think this Pango is kind of, I mean, it's their last pick, so last pick always ties your lineup together to some degree, but I really feel like Jabs, he's going to do a lot for them in this game. Like, he is the team fight, he is the control, he's potentially the auras. He has a lot of roles that he can fill this game depending on what he wants to do. Whereas that's going to be dependent on, you know, how early do you want to fight with Ench Ember? Do you want to just go later with the PL timings? Are you confident in the Phantom Lancer 1v5ing? Do you just support that type of win condition? So Jabs has some decisions to make this game in terms of how greedy does he want to itemize damage-wise or auras. I think he's probably just going to go auras here. Some Greaves, some Lotus help deal with the Batrider. And so if his early game is good, then that means the other game for his cores becomes that much better as well.
And I'm sure some of you guys are thinking about this with the top of the Dawnbreaker up. I know there was a problem with the Dawnbreaker not actually getting the heal from her passive on regular attacks, only on the Starbreaker. I experienced that a couple times in my pubs. Avery, apparently it's fixed now, you said?
It is what I believe, yes.
Okay.
If it's not, I guess, you know, that's life. you deal with it and maybe win anyway, but to my understanding, it should be working. That's a Q is he's doing a little roaming. I mean, not as vital for support Dawn, right?
Shanks. Nice use of the tricks of the trade to secure courier kill, while Bob goes hunting for a kill of his own, and he's gonna all-in commit for it. It doesn't work. Oh dear, that really wasn't that close.
I mean, he was just trying to get max value out of the Fairy Fire, but I mean, there's still Water Runes up. I don't know if he had to do that. I mean, if you get it First Blood, you trade, you come back, you're super happy. But now, that was a high-risk play and did not pay off. So Mikoto, super happy about that. Basically pulls a full level ahead almost.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty nice in a lane that's pretty annoying in the early levels. But now, he's going to be closing in on level 6 very early. and will no longer really have to worry about the Bat Rider too much.
Which is a big deal because he's going Chains build. So this is a build where it slows your farm rate down a lot because you're not running around with this shield, you're not clearing waves as fast, which means Mikoto wants to go and fight this game. That's what it tells me. He wants to go and skirmish these supports, try and abuse the leash, which is really powerful versus Mirana and Ricky, right?
Yeah.
You're leashing mobility heroes. You're going to have the high duration up. You can leash this bat, try and buy some space in the fights. But this is not the fastest build in terms of accelerating you to levels and items. So it's a very big kill for him to get. And maybe he caught Bob a little off guard too, right?
It's also a build that's more effective against Bat Rider in lane, right? Flame Guard does nothing for you, and the bigger threat of a Bat Rider is him running you over with Firefly, so you kind of need those Searing Chains, and even just an extra level could save you.
I mean, I think shield build is still fine in this matchup. You also have the upside, like if you die or whatever, you can go farm jungle and come back, you know? I almost view this build as like maybe higher risk, higher reward, I don't know.
Okay.
I would also normally think about it in terms of if the chains benefit your supports. Like, let's say the Ember had a Mirana and you're chainsing into arrows.
Yeah.
Then you get extra value, but he doesn't really have anything Chains is like benefiting. I mean, Ench, Dawn, it's like okay, but nothing crazy, right?
Yeah, maybe we'll see a Dawnbreaker hit a Starbreaker off of a chain sometime, but
He'll get double damage here though. Big
classic combo. Forced to jump away to his Remnant.
The other upside of Ember having a good early game is this Ollie Ench can come in, which is really what Ench wants to do in most ideal games. Like if his carry's getting solo XP and staying there, and then he can go and roam and collapse on a lane with another strong hero and just break that lane with a strong creep. He's super happy to do that, so might see some early mid action with, you know, 5-minute catapults gone, but 10-minute these types of windows.
Yeah.
Koda will just pop the DD here.
Bottom lane, they continue to just throw damage constantly at Palos. And it is definitely affecting his CS a bit, as he's a little bit behind, but more importantly, the Pango is super far ahead. Top CS right next to the Bat Rider there. Shanks in top lane is going to be dying here, as 23 runs him down with the help of Ollie's rotation.
Just some extra gold for PL. Pretty nice. Well, this is a much better early game for Talon than last game. I guess Adam had the perfect read, and they're just crushing 3 lanes here. And by crush, you know, they have slightly more gold. But looking very good for them.
Yeah, it's a good start for sure. And there's still plenty of time. Palos is, he obviously really wants his level 6. Looks like maybe a little bit of dive here. Nice 2-man chains. He did get a refill on the bottle.
This is that mid-edge pressure, gonna force the Ricky TP in. This Bat Rider is just getting abused, man. Which is typically not what you want to have happen in this hero, especially in the early parts of the game.
Yeah.
Where like you don't have the dispels up, you don't have the items to deal with the stacks. You want to be contesting the runes, getting that fortuitous haste rune on him, becoming a menace with early bots.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing to Palos bottom lane for the last couple of minutes, pressuring him like crazy. Carlo, another leap, but won't be able to get out of range of the slipe that comes through. Palos gonna show up. He should be completing his level 6 here, but Bob is gonna help him out with that with this lane. Oh, beautiful Starbreaker hits on it too. Japs may still fall here with the Palos landing. It is a successful kill. Palos has his level 6. What a rotation from Bob. Very well set up.
Going from being abused mid to double kill bottom. Very good read of where he can implement his hero on the map.
No, that's just one of those situations where you get too much into your head about how much you want to pressure that carry. You know, they really wanted to kill the Slark before he got level 6. Mikoto,
jeez, man.
beastly kill. Just forces down Shanks with the level 4 Sleight of Fist, bursting down pretty quickly.
Careful, no Firefly here.
Yeah, with the Hellbear, if it gets close enough to hit a good clap, and it's gonna keep Bob nice and slow. Nice arrow, and he sticks on top of the fire. Just 1 second of Firefly in space, combined with an arrow, was enough to get the counter kill. Bob, probably not happy going down, but at least got his vengeance from the grave.
I mean, that's level 6 from Mirana out of nowhere. Carlo is not having that good a game. That is the TP still on cooldown for this bat, so Bob's game is getting slowed down considerably. Like, he is last in net worth for all these cores, and you know, Ember, he's got a Remnant to come back to.
Yeah.
So Mikoto still had that out. He just hops back mid. It's not the worst case scenario for him. I mean, you'd rather not take that arrow, but You're gonna tank it.
Radiant's been
They
fortified.
do it, and Ollie's having a pretty decent impact here. This is that freedom that Ench has because PL is just sitting top. No one has gone up. No one went up there to kick him out. Now they're putting Dawn up there. So Ollie's had some decent mid rotations. Came bottom. Gave his Ember a pretty good game. Mikoto's put it to good use.
Yeah, I like how the pressure wasn't there, but 23 left the lane anyway and gives it to the Dawnbreaker, so we can see that level 6 coming up in a few seconds here.
Yep. I'm a little surprised Execration has let them sit up here this long, but I guess to some degree they don't have the best supports to come up here with a Visage and kick somebody out.
Yeah, I'm a little bit questionable. Like, yeah, they have Riki Mirana, super, natural combination with the dart into the arrow, but they actually don't. I don't feel like their supports are the best to work with Visage explicitly. Like, Visage likes melee supports to help out, but Riki doesn't really do the damage, I think, that's required.
I think the early lane is strong because you have like the blink strikes and the soul assumption and all that. All of that I think works fine. But you're right, like the level 3 to 4s, it's not like Tusk, Earth Spirit, natural gap close into some lockdown.
Yeah.
I think Visage likes having some stuns, which of course the Riki can build later. This is more of just like a mid-game lineup, They want to hit that 15 to 20 where the dart comes on, then you're getting the darts into the arrow, darts into like bird stun into soul assumption. That's really what they're playing for. So these aren't supports that are going to accelerate these lanes super fast. But I think sometimes that can feel bad. Like Jab's just sitting up here and he's just watching someone farm against him. It's like, what else is happening on the map, right? Then it comes down to this Bat Rider like we saw to make some good rotations and keep the towers up. Classic pauses here.
Just a little bit of packet loss, a little bit of problems. Both teams are going to be swarming their off lane and taking the safe lane tower, so they're just mirroring each other right now. Difference being that the Bat Rider is going to be the one jungling while Phantom Lancer does the same on the other side of the map. Fuse Blade be coming up pretty quickly, so that'll be the first timing where Phantom Lancer can maybe show up for a pickoff or two, but that's about it.
I think he can join fights this game too. Like, I don't think 23 is, with how strong this Ember is, he gets an early diffusal into whatever second item he wants. You just join fights. There's not a huge amount of AoE, right?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
They're finally gonna kick you out of here. Yeah, so that's what the kind of thing I was talking about. Like, you can't just let him sit up here forever. Got to get this Visage objective game going.
Visage did go with Vlad's, but is going to go back for a Guardian Greaves, not completing the Wraith Pact. Jabs is actually still going to try and hold this. Tower down to half. And if he tries to go for a Rolling Thunder, the Visage Birds could keep him stunned for a bit. So he's got to be careful about that one. Threatening it.
Got stunned.
It's stunned. Now the smoke screen into the lasso here. Is they're going to be able to finish up Jabs pretty quickly, or maybe not. The damage wasn't there quite quick enough, and now Bob is going to die as a result, having to extend even deeper. And Mikoto here for the cleanup. They have an extension. Drops the sentry a little bit late, pulled the slight and the chains. That's a missing, and now he's barely outside of the sentry. Oh, he goes back into it, and the hammer conks him right in the head. Palos
here.
Yeah, okay, this is a late show up to a fight that they really need to collect some kills off of, with Mikoto having very little mana to work with. He's got 7 magic wand charges, but it's not enough for him to be able to jump to a remnant.
What a swing. I mean, Jabs is trying to bait that fight out with the Solar Guardian to come in and turn it, which he was very close to doing, but just a little off on the calculation, ends up going down without getting ult off, and Execration bringing the numbers a little bit faster. Like Bob there right on time. They chain the silence into the lasso, pull him out of the ult, reduces the healing a little bit. Just able to turn that fight, and then Palos gets to come in and clean up some kills at the end. They're super happy with that. Like, now this Slark is top of the board after a rough, very early laning phase. He wasn't ever doing too bad, but now he's feeling pretty good. He's got 4 bonus agi too.
It seemed to me with the mirroring that was happening there that like I didn't expect them to defend the tower. It felt like a risk that was just kind of unnecessary.
I mean, I think they thought it felt good because they have this Dawnbreaker global ability, Yeah. It's like, oh, they're not going to think about the fact we can bring in some extra numbers, and this Pango does want to fight early, especially around the towers. It's a pretty good area for him to fight when Execration has to overextend in the vision. I think conceptually that fight can make sense, just a little mis-executed, and they'll pay the price here. Mid towers on this bit too. Holy crap!
like the fact that 23. Oh, Shanks.
Radiant's middle tower ain't radiating no
Who managed to
more.
sidestep the first roll. Ole, another one goes by. Shanks will survive here.
That's a lot of wasted time.
Yeah. Wasted ults, wasted time for two heroes. All to try and kill a Riki, who is well on his way to be able to get the shard right at the 15-minute mark.
And, you know, I was thinking about it, but what is the answer to PL this game? I mean, it's Radiance, Cap.
Yeah.
It's Radiance, and there's only one man who can build the Radiance.
Wait, you know what Adam said that on the panel? He was joking, right? Or do you think he was serious?
The thing is, like,
Is Slark a Radiance hero?
I have seen Slarks build Radiance before.
Yeah.
It is not an
Okay.
unseen event, you know? It's not the worst hero with it because Slark is a hero that innately wants to take very long fights.
Sure.
He
yeah.
jumps in and out. He has survivability spells. Like, he has 2 of them now, right? He lives for a long time. It's like a Wraith King type thing. He doesn't hit very hard at the start, but if he lives a long time, he just burns you down, gets some stacks going.
Isn't the Ags, though, the part build of Slark, part of it is building an Aghanim Scepter. Isn't that also good against PL? You find the real one.
Yeah, but I mean, Radiance helps you farm to the Ags. Ags doesn't help you farm to the Radiance.
I see, okay.
You're an NA player, Cap. Come on.
It's all about the farm, and it's all about catching the Phantom Lancer while he's farming. Execration using the Moonlight Shadow to great success, killing the enemy carry.
Maybe that's also part of it, right? The Slark has Moonlight Shadow. Just go in.
Yeah.
He's like one of the best Moonlight Shadow carries because you get the bonus as well.
And Silence
Jabs.
lasts a little long, but he's got the mech, so Jabs is not that squishy, typical Pango that's super easy to kill. He's got a little bit of sustain to work with.
And Makoto is just cruising in this game, though, it feels like. No, Bob he's pushing towards BKB as well. I don't know, this Ember timing is going to be strong here. Like, you're not going to have the items to deal with it. Paolo's feeling the pain.
Got the chains. He still has his ultimate. Paolo's making his way back. Bomb's going to cover him.
This is the part of the game where Talon, they want to kick Execration out of these heavy farm areas with the Ember and Enchantress strength. They know that they're not fighting this duo. Buy time for the PL to get to his item timing. He has Diffusal Yasha and try and probably get a good fight going soon. Like, I don't think you want to just let Execration farm here. I think you want to use this power spike. You went mech, you have the early aura, you have the early Diffusal for PL to come in if you set something up for him. I think Talon's pretty confident taking a fight if they want to. And remember, like, Q can just farm on the other side of the map and come in at the other end.
Yep, which is why it's always a pretty decent move to go where the Dawnbreaker is.
Yep.
She's probably going to be playing alone, so it's very likely a free kill. Carlo, oh, nice sleep timing there. Once again, the two supports, they've got some moves. And Jabs is having a hard time being able to connect with them. Nice bounce off of the wall, though, rear direction, keeping a small chain stun, but Ollie by himself can't put the damage in, but Makoto certainly can, especially with that Maelstrom proc.
Yeah, that'll do it. Level 12. He'll be happy to come in and clean up the kill. Maybe a little preemptive tip there, you know? Some karma.
It really was. Battle for the wards.
Tower's under attack.
Shanks.
Dart is online now.
Yeah.
So you have this Dart Marana arrow combo. And they're pushing towards Radiance, so that's probably Execration's window to go. You get this Radiance on Slark, you have your Visage Auras, and you just dart somebody into arrow, take the fight afterwards. Maybe the Radiance Dart isn't, you know, the best combo, but everything works out in the end. Here's another smoke, so trying to use this Ember. Again, this is the Ember Enchantress trying to kick people out of areas. These ganks are really important for Talon.
The Grease quickly removing the chains there, and the Moonlight Shadow also helping out. So Tino will be fine. So all these rotations, trying to kick people out, but not necessarily getting kills. And it does make me kind of worry about this big Radiance timing that's coming in, especially with this pickoff onto the Pango. Smoke screen is a really nice follow-up to the Batrider Lasso.
Yeah, this is the part of the game where this mid-game Riki Marana combo is going to start to make the map hard to play. You have multiple invis situations to bypass wards. You have this Dart that can set up a lot of their heroes in terms of the damage output.
Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised that the Marana is actually playing with the Riki up there. But Carlos just been hanging out bottom lane instead. One of the only heroes they could probably lane against the Phantom Lancer. Ooh, chains into the Dawnbreaker, stun, followed up with the hammer, and Bob goes down.
And this is the type of thing that I think Talon want to be finding more of. Like,
Yeah.
they want to be using this Ember to set up the rest of their heroes, get these small engagements going while the PL farms. This is when they're going to feel good with the PL farming. But if they're just trading farm, I don't think they feel amazing about it, because that 5-man wall with the Visage is it's going to be hard to break in the mid game. Like, you need your PL to be able to come and do it.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And I don't
attack.
think 23 Savage, he's happy killing some creeps this game. And he doesn't seem to have any inclination of wanting to go fight, which is always fine for a Phantom Lancer if you're not pressured.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Carlo, with that time that he spent in the bottom lane, is pushing himself towards a Lotus, which is a nice answer to this Ember Spirit with the Dawnbreaker follow-up that we've seen.
Yeah, you know what a better answer is?
AJB? Or Aegis?
Radiance Aegis.
Yeah, that is going to be a Radiance Aegis if it's given up, and it looks like it is, because Talon, even though this is not a fast Roshan, Talon is even slower to get there in time. But Kodo will show up with a slight here right at the end. Jabs rolls in, but the Aegis has already been picked up. They'll collect some kills though on their way out here as Carlo. He's going to be chain stunned. It does manage to get a leap away, but Jabs hunts him down. Should finish him off here. Really good swashbuckle there. Putting some damage out into the Execration 2 cores. They're pretty mobile, so I imagine they're going to be able to get back in time, but maybe this Aegis is going to be burned through. Yeah, using the Shadow Dance. That means he's got no way out of this one. The Smoke Dart comes through, smoke screen. They need to be able to get him out of here, and he does get the clearance to be able to hop down the cliff and away to safety. Still, though, Talon taking away the immediate advantage of Roshan.
Yeah, did not end up doing much for Execration there. If anything, just expending a bad BKB. Maybe this Aegis Radiance timing. I mean, Radiance is nice, but it's not like, it's not some crazy item on this hero, right? It's a little difficult for Apollos to use it right now. He still can't stand toe-to-toe with PL or anything.
Yeah, you are, because you went this Radiance build, you are incredibly squishy.
Yeah.
To any sort of AoE magic damage, which with the Pango and the Dawnbreaker, they've got plenty of.
I also think PL can, like, I don't know if PL cares too much about Radiance in the current meta either. He has a lot of ways to build magic resist or scale up the durability of his illusions on top of just, you know, Radiance it's nothing insane. It's not like you're debilitating this hero to a crazy degree, so. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the 23 goes, but like even here, right? Is 23 is Radiance Burn just destroying the PL? You know, not really. Like it's nice. It's good in the fight if they're being the aggressors, but if they're on the back foot like that, that does.
Okay, but hear me out. Radiance is basically an aura item.
True.
It's an offensive aura item. So if auras are going to be the meta, the Radiance is the next step for all carries to be building.
Okay, but if you're building defensive auras that buff up 5 people,
yeah,
and your Radiance is attacking 5 people, doesn't that just make the defensive auras better? Because you're blocking more damage?
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. Okay, dart into the air. There's the first combo of that. The Dawnbreaker heal is going to be able to bail him out, though. The first showing of that combination goes a bit wrong for Execration as they are immediately countered. They lose the Reeking. They might lose Tino as well. Slowed down. Flame Break trying to get the little push back there, but thanks to Phantom Lancer burning through the armor of the Visage super fast. That Gravekeeper's Cloak is no defense whatsoever against the Phantom Lancer.
That's the power of the Solar Guardian there. Jab's a little tankier than before with full Greaves. That's one of the things about this Execration lineup is you have to think about where the damage comes from. The Ricky support duo, great at setting stuff up. Pretty bad at finishing it.
Yes.
So who's actually going to finish these kills? You have to commit the whole Bat Rider kit. You have to have the Slark commit in the fight. The Slark does not want to commit in these fights first for a decent amount of time here. It just has to come from Bob on this bat. And he's only one man, you know, so...
Yeah, and it's also not the fastest damage in, like, that specific instance. The only burst damage they have that actually follows that up is Soul Assumption from Visage. And that's the last ability that you level up on Visage nowadays, so...
Yeah, it's also not the easiest backing. Like, PL, pretty innately good versus hero, has Manta up, multiple Dispel, Pango with the Greaves. But 2 of these cores can remove stacks on top of it. Ember has BKB, he can remove it. Doesn't really care in the fight, so... Kind of like, who does this back go on to deal the damage? It's difficult. You have to commit with the Slark, and maybe this BKB timing is the window to do that. Radiant's turned off, not to show anything. Talos will go in first, confident he cannot die.
Bob can TP in on the other side with the boots of travel. He's going to do just that. T-Thinking sandwich. First, they're going to go onto the Pango. Force Staff gets him away. Pounce, no. They finish him off pretty quickly there. Now they look and turn for more, as there it is. Bob sandwiching them, catching both the supports as a result. Tino walks away with the double kill, and they got the dart into the arrow. Oh, the smoke screen was enough to let the arrow land, and they'll follow that up. Execration, 1, 2, 3, and a 4th kill their way. Execration with a very nice smoke gank, and the pick-off potential really showing itself there.
Just caught him off guard. I feel like Talon just bail once the Pango gets slept like that. Yeah, that's just not a fight you're gonna take. They just get run down, lose 4. Ember doesn't even get to use his BKB for that engagement. Beautiful sleeps into the arrows. Another thing, you know, he turns his Radiance off to help that smoke gank as well and help that setup. Yeah, very heads up play by Execration, and they're just gonna take a Rax off.
Smart. Range barracks down at 24 minutes. 5k gold lead for Execration. All of a sudden this game looks very different than it did 2 minutes ago.
And again, we haven't seen 23 be able to join any of these fights, right? Yeah. And he is the big damage source for Talon here. So every one of these little skirmishes that doesn't go Talon's way, the Peel's impact becomes a little bit harder. He's still very strong, and this game is by no means out of reach or anything, but it's just an awkward engagement. Like, you're just getting clumped up at a choke point and run down. Yeah. And the Dark goes to work. Kodo could have BKB'd here, but doesn't feel good to anyway.
No. We come back to a pause. You did say 23 Savage can definitely still carry this game. He didn't join the last fight, and you know, probably shouldn't be joining any fights because he is closing in on that heart. Very, very close pickup. Once he has that, do you think he'll probably play a bit more with the team?
He might not have a choice. Depends how much Execration decide to try and accelerate the map. The good thing about Radiance, so the thing about Radiance on this Slark is I don't think it's necessarily that good at like helping him one-on-one deal with PL, but it helps his team engage into the fight, right? It does make it a little harder for this PL to run in and start killing people. You have some AoE evasion, you have some AoE burn. Yeah. It's a little annoying, you know? And the thing that can happen in this game is Execration can just focus everybody outside the PL, right? They have auras, they have some sustain. Like maybe you sleep this PL randomly. There's a smoke screen going down. Some like random annoying interruption, and you have mobility cores, so you might be able to just play around 23's impact. It's going to come down to when he joins the fight. You have to make that fight count, and you have like 1 stun to do it, which is Chains. Yeah. So if Chains is getting dispelled here, which like you mentioned, you have Lotus, you have Greaves, how does PL stick on people? It might be another thing Talon has to think about here, as they have a full Crimson Guard on Q.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Damn.
It's pretty decent.
So I think Talon got the memo from last game that the aura meta is very much alive here.
Oh, BKB immediately going off Makoto, taking no chances with the dart into arrow combo.
Damn, he's done with that, I think. Yeah. Felt it once, he's like, all right. Not even gonna mess around with that stuff anymore.
Never again. He's gonna go Sanj Kaya, which may also be a way to help deal with that, lessen the dart sleep time.
Definitely doesn't sound too bad here. And quick smoke up as well. Trying to take advantage of the 5-on-4, but Execration basically bailed on the map. Just gonna give it all to him. Slark pushes out top.
Yeah, they're either hiding in the absolute edges of the map or they're hiding inside of their base. They're taking no chances of letting Talon grow a little bit of steam. Again, Execration's read on what Talon wants to do in the game has been exemplary. Very good.
Yeah, the games feel a little smoother for them. This game definitely feels a lot better for Talon. I think you have like a more balanced idea of what they want to do. The itemization's there. They have this 23 hero that's like quietly farming, getting to that late game. I think they're still on a decent track for what they want to hit, which is kind of this like second Roshan, get the Aegis on PL type fight. And that's what they're gearing up for. They want to just make sure PL is as strong as possible for that type of engagement to happen, because that is when they can win this game off that. It's just some factors you have to think about. Like Vision's another thing in this game, right? You have Ronald to deal with, you have this Riki to deal with, you have Slark, who can also spot your wards. 3 major vision mechanics for Execration that It's just skewed the vision on this map a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point. It means when they start getting pickoffs, it's just going to build and build. The last will pull into the arrow. Yeah, exactly. No BKB chance. And Dawnbreaker ultimate putting him into a bad position. Q goes down as well. And once again, it just starts with the one pickoff and it leads to so much worse. But this time around, the Pango, or the Pango with the PL, are going to be able to play out this fight. But do they have enough damage to burn through these heroes fast enough? Palos is sticking on to the real Phantom Lancer over and over again with these pounces. What a stomp, what a drop down there by Bird. A beautiful one that allows Tino to be able to reset and keeping these heroes low. Phantom Lancer finally going to be dropping here as they let enough damage from Palos in, and with the Ember diebacking and the follow-up there from Ollie going down, this is an absolute disaster for Talon. This is just Execration cracking the whole game wide open. It's theirs for the taking.
Wow.
My God, Palos he's just hitting everybody the entire fight. No one's doing anything to him. Mikoto has 2 lives to play with, but I don't think either of them felt that good. Gets almost nothing done in both. And
I mean, they had the nice stun into Phantom Lancer hitting people, but I think they were hitting the Visage.
Yeah, 22's trying to take down the Aura hero, which it makes sense, but this is just so tanky. Like, he's just sitting there with Greaves. Even if he runs out of mana, that's just less damage you're dealing. He doesn't need it for him to take the fight. And meanwhile, Palos is just building up the stacks. You know, he got up to like 45 or something.
Also, Stoneform doesn't require mana, which I actually never knew. So that just means even if you burn him out of everything, he can still hit that last minute escape hatch and just go to how long does that last? Stun duration 1.6 seconds of invulnerability. You know, you're not killing that guy.
That's what I'm saying. This Radiance fits in with the idea of you just stall the fight. Yeah, like PL has to carry the fight at some point. Where this Ember cannot deal enough damage through the sustain. So if the fight just takes that long for 23 to cut through anybody, Palos is probably going to cut through you faster because he's building the stacks the whole time. You want to go long fight versus Slark? Be my guess, you know? As long as he's up there hitting people, which he was. Good to take that type of extended engagement, and Bob breaking the smoke.
Breaks the smoke, gets away. Execration backing up to their high ground here and gonna go for a smoke themselves. Both teams playing for the second Roshan spawn, which is gonna happen in just 12 seconds. The wrap around here from Execration. They see Q. They should be able to get this cleanly. As that lines up the arrow, now a 4 versus 5. There is the buyback opportunity, though. The Dawnbreaker has buyback ultimate with the 2-man chains. We'll see when they want to blow through this. Jabs! Oh no! A whiff and stuck on the cliff again! Jabs immediately stops that one, blows out the swashbuckle. Those trying to be able to kill the Riki. Oh, maybe not. The Riki jumps away for a second there, finally does go down. But ultimately, the Phantom Lancer's been locked down, and the enemy carrier Palos is just going to clean up. That was not the initiation that they thought it was going to be. Jabs fumbling and leading his team into another unmitigated disaster. I don't know how you recover from this one now, because it's going to be second Roshan for the taking for Execration.
No, this is the Roshan they need in this game. This game is getting very difficult now. I mean, Slark is just, I mean, at this point, he's just getting too much agi too. Like, he has 18 permanent, he has all these extra stacks, he has all the auras behind him, Ags online to steal even more. Every dart that comes out is an arrow into a leap, right? There's no hard save. I don't know, man, even if that roll hits, the fight just looks hard.
Yeah, it seems like a long shot as is. But if the roll doesn't hit at all, then it's just
definitely
never
gonna
going to
go
work.
their way. But this PL is just getting massacred, man. Like, smoke screen Radiance, he can't hit anybody. Then Slark eventually just pounces and finds somebody. The second 1 or 2 of these Talon heroes die, you're just getting outboard and outrun down.
That's actually a really good point. I didn't think about that. The miss rate of the smoke screen combined with the Radiance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's like 95% chance miss.
I think a lot of games I really don't like just buying Radiance versus PL for just that.
Yeah.
But like with this lineup, it actually makes sense to me because it has all
sit on the smoke screen, everybody.
Yeah, it has very nice small stacking features with the way the lineup wants to take the engagements that I actually think this Radiance was pretty good on this lineup. It makes sense the way they're taking the fights.
Pretty sick. Now they've got an Aegis to work with to see if they can close out this game and get a 2-0 against Talon, which would be a massive boon for Execration. The coming weeks here as they make the initiation on the Phantom Lancer once again. Palos is able to stick on top, and the Phantom Lancer soon to fall, and he does. No buyback available, and without the carry, there's no damage left in the tank for Talon. Jap's gonna die on the low ground, and GG is immediately gonna be called. Well done, 2-0 for Execration. Super dominant game one, and honestly, this game two, more even, a lot more even in the first like 15 minutes, but once they cracked the game open, they gave Talon absolutely no quarter whatsoever. It was just back-to-back dominating team fights, 3 of them in a row, and that's the game.
They had some momentum with this Ember end. That's the one thing. The early game was, they had some momentum going. Makoto was having a pretty good game. But once the sustain auras from the Visage come out, he can't just cut through that on his own.
Yeah.
Like, he's throwing out these slights, his Maelstrom proccing. Cool. But somebody has to cut through that. And, I mean, shout out to Palos. Like, I feel like he played a very nice series in both games. He just had a very smooth game from start to finish. Finishes 11-0 this game.